Hello my friends, this is Oscar, and today we're going to be designing the level up system. So, if you look at the top, I have a level up bar, and it's almost full, and if we grab these, we level up. Now, what happens is we go onto this screen, where it tells us, select an upgrade with spacebar, and these upgrades are all randomly generated. So that means, just if you go to level 1, it'll select from a big pool of upgrades. And that's what we're going to be accomplishing in. We're going to figure out we're going to be programming exactly that, the list itself. So, without further ado, let's get started. So the way lists work in GameMaker, which is what we're going to be doing to store all of our upgrades, is just so you and I are in the same page. This is how they work. So this is a grocery list. You might have used one as, when your mom is telling you, we need you to go to the grocery store, son, we need you to pick up apples, bananas, milks, and cereal. So, you grab the list and you go to the store. This is going to be our global variable. And in this global variable, we're going to be adding things such as apples, bananas, milk, cereal, and all of these things are going to be inside that list, right? It's super simple. Like, you guys are so good, you guys just understand this concept. That's what I like about you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set up our list, our grocery list, and then we're going to set up values in it. So that's what we're going to do. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to create a new script. So here under scripts, right click, create script. And we're going to call this script nothing. We don't want to call scripts anything, why would we? And we're going to create, so I use global op list. This is our grocery list. Exactly that. Grocery list is being created right here. We're going to set this to a global variable. Global variables, and you can access them anywhere in the game. The reason why is they're going to be, imagine we get an upgrade like a sword, equip a sword. That's what that upgrade does, just equip the sword. Once we have that upgrade, we can go, whoa, 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 we just got a sword. Wouldn't it be cool if we got, like, sword upgrades? Like, maybe this is just, maybe, let's see. Oh, I'll just write it here. Maybe your upgrade is a sword, right? But once you get that sword, wait, that's not how you spell sword. Once you get that sword, you get like flame sword. Or maybe you have like an upgrade that that makes your sword do twice as much damage, right? So you do double damage for your sword. But we don't want double damage here, right? We don't want it to be in this general area. We only want the double damage to our sword only when the player gets the sword, right? So that's why we choose a global variable, because later in the game we might want to add upgrades, and we don't want to do it right away. We want to be patient. So that's why it's a global variable. Here we're creating our list. That's what this is doing. We have now created a list. Awesome. So we're gonna set this. So I'm setting this to DS list clear. If you saw my previous tutorial, I'm doing this because I like to reset the player's level to level 1 at the end of a dungeon. Kind of like a roguelike. But if you don't want to do that, then you don't have to, you can just get rid of this. It'll just ensure that list doesn't get reset every single time. So now we're gonna set, alright, now we're gonna add, things to our list. So I use A, because A is a very small, A is like one letter, and I don't like, the alternative is doing this, right? That's long. Like, if you're doing this, you're working inefficiently, I think. So we're gonna set this to A, and we're gonna write this, ds list add. Just A is gonna be the list that you're inserting, and this is just a string of text. It's something that makes sense to you, and it's not, the text isn't tied to anything. It's just text, right? You could literally be writing apples, bananas. I'm choosing this because it's an abbreviation that is familiar to me. U stands for upgrade, and then it's like, what upgrade? It's maximum health, right? And that's what that does, right? So that is the list. Now, we're going to be setting our list in our initializer. So whenever your game starts, I think I have it here, right? Yeah, I have it right here. Item list. And if you saw my previous tutorial, all of this is when everything gets reset back to level 1, when everything resets, right? So, you know, we have an upgrade for Boomerang Trail, but we set it here to false, because we're resetting everything. And having everything self-contained in one script makes it easy, because then you could call this, you know, at any point. You know, maybe your player wants to pay 1,000 gold to reset his skill build. So when he pays 1,000 gold, we can access the script to turn off upgrades. Alright, now that we have successfully added our item list, what do we do next? Well, the thing is that even though this has text, you know, GameMaker doesn't really understand, you know, what to call that text with, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start creating our upgrade objects, right? Now, before we do these upgrade objects, we need to do a parent, because a parent upgrade is just gonna make the child upgrades inherit some things. You know, like we don't want these to be visible all the time in the game. We only want them to be visible when there's like a level up, right? So we set them here, and because of the way everything is set up, they are going to be existing at all times in the game. So we create this, and we set the visibility to 0. And yeah. And what this is going to do is, at all times, all of these are going to be stored in the top left corner of the screen. And we're just going to set the visibility to false, so they're not viewable whenever. They're only viewable whenever at certain times. Under create event, we're going to set the sprite index to whatever the sprite index is going to be. Title is going to be this, action, and these are for the shop. Alright, so let's get to our first one. Let's try the boomerang path. Alright, so under event inherited, we're gonna write this, and what this does is it's gonna go to the upgrade item, and it says whatever your create event is, I'm gonna inherit it. And now let's check it out. So title, we're gonna replace this with follow the path. Description, hold left on the mouse to draw a path, and then we do for boomerang. This is going to be like the enter key on your keyboard. It's going to go to the next line. So that's what that does, right? Now, under the user event 0, this is going to be it's going to set whatever variable is for true. So, description, upgrade is turned on. Not in a sexual way. Okay, so global.boomerang trail. This is the thing that was in turn off upgrades, false, right? Here we're gonna set it to true. Now, bada bing, bada boom, you have an upgrade. But here we need to make sure that we also remove the item from the list, right? Because we have this cool list, and we have just gotten this the upgrade create a path on with the boomerang. But now that we have it activated, we need to get rid of it, or else it's gonna stay in the rotation, right? So what we're gonna do is, like, okay, we have selected this, we have selected the apples. We're gonna cross apples out of our list, and it's not gonna be there anymore. So we're gonna create a new script. Right click, create script, and this script is gonna be called delete item. Description. We're going to be deleting the item, and we're going to put in a string, right? Whatever So then this is why, this is exactly why it's very important to use a name type that makes sense, because I can just look at this and go, oh, when I created the item list, I created something called u underscore ang, like boomerang. I know that makes sense to me. So ang means boomerang, boomerang upgrades. So an upgrade for the boomerang, and then it's like path. Okay, like those three words make sense to me. I know what those three things do. So what's gonna do here is it's gonna look for this text in the list, and it's just gonna get rid of it. So it's gonna create a new variable called find index, and we're just gonna list for the index, right? Global dot uplist. So this is, that's our grocery list that we made, remember? And then it's gonna, okay, so so now that we're in our grocery list, we're just gonna be looking for this, right? Our ang path. And now that okay, so ds list, okay, so now that it has found the correct index for it, we're gonna get rid of it. We don't need it anymore. So we're gonna delete ds list delete global uplist, and then this has found the index. Oh, so what index essentially means is, now this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. It says which one of these is it on? Because it's randomized. Every time you open up the every time you open up the upgrades, it's randomized. So these numbers change. Well, apples could be on number 3, bananas could be on number 1, evil milk could be on number 2, so it's like very important to know which number this index is on, right? So if apples is randomized and it's on 3, and we select the apple upgrade, we need to get rid of whatever's in number 3. So it says, well, it's technically 2 because it starts at 0, 1, 2. That's basically it, right? So now we have successfully grabbed our boomerang and we have deleted it. Now let's get to the super fun part, which is actually getting the creating the level up. So the way I have my level up is it's broken down into two ways, right? I have my my little sound effect. Remember, you guys saw this? Level up. So the way it works is, this gets created. Oh, wait, is that a stray pixel? Wait, guys, wait, guys. I swear I could see a stray pixel there. There it is. What the heck? Oh. Previously in professional tutorials. Alright, so the way it works is this gets created, and then when it gets destroyed, it should create a new object called, like, the real level up. So this is like a fake one. It's only there just for the looks. But alright, so you can just not use this anymore. Well, you don't need to use this. I use this because it looks really aesthetically pleasing, and it tells the player, hey, you leveled up. And aside from Pokémon Mystery Dungeon, and I like that game. Alright, so the way this is going to work is it has a little create event. And on create event, I use a image speed of 6. I want my my level up object to launch in 2 seconds, and yeah, this is a macro. Definitely do this in your game, guys. Make a script called macros and just copy this. It's gonna save you so much time. Hashtag macro. I call it hashtag really. Sec space game get speed game speed FPS. This just essentially means 1 second times 2. So it's 2 seconds, right? The alternative is writing this, which I hate. Do not write all of that. It takes a long time. You have better things to do with your time because you're very important. Under step, I have depth equals -5,000. Super exaggeration to make sure it shows in front. And if the instance exists, object player. If the player exists, then we just make sure that our X and Y position are match the player's X and Y position. Now we're going to destroy this under our alarm. Create alarm. We're going to set it to destroy itself, and then we're going to create this new thing called the level up. This is I, but again, instead of using this instances, the alternative would be this, right? And this is very long word. I don't like that. So instance create X, Y, I, O level up. Now this is going to be the main one that's going to contain all of our that we're going to be working on. So right click, create object, the O level up object, and let's see what this does. This is going to freeze the screen, and it's going to select 3 random upgrades, and it's going to present it to the player. It's also going to freeze everything on the screen except the player. It's a very long process, and I'm going to make this into the next tutorial because we covered so much in this one. But thanks guys for staying in, and I'll see you guys next one.